Humbug.
Mr. Scrooge, I presume.
Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge?
A stingy, odious, mean, hard, unfeeling man as...
It's Uncle Ebenezer.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge.
He was a tight-fisted hand at the grindstone, Scrooge. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, clutching, covetous old sinner. Mr. Scrooge?
Mr. Scrooge.
An unwanted creature, but not a rat-a-leech or a cockroach.
Then what?
Then what?
What?
It's Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes!
Ebenezer Scrooge.
It's Ebenezer Scrooge!
Oh, looking older and more wicked than ever.
Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge, I presume?
Ebenezer.
To Mr. Scrooge,
An odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge!
Well, Mr. Scrooge certainly has very few friends.
He's the most uncivil man I've ever met, Mr. Bennet. He never says good morning or good evening or Merry Christmas. He leaves a bad taste in people's eyes.
Uncle Ebenezer.
And Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge.
It needs to be Christmas, Bob, to drink to a rotten, hard, stingy old miser like Scrooge.
Scrooge.
That old miser, Mr. Scrooge.
Uncle Ebenezer. He is indeed the most despicable old miser. Worse than you could ever possibly imagine. I like old Scrooge.
Uncle Ebenezer.
The most obnoxious and parsimonious of all living creatures.
Uncle Ebenezer.
Scrooge.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Scrooge!
Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
Mr. Scrooge.
Who was the wretched man whose death brought so much glee and happiness to others?
Ebenezer Scrooge.
to Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge.
What business brings you here? I wish to be left alone.
You keep Christmas in your own way, and let me keep it in mine.
I wish to be left alone.
I wish to be left alone.
I don't make myself merry at Christmas, and I cannot afford to make idle people merry.
I don't make merry myself at Christmas time, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry.
Do not make merry myself at Christmas. I cannot afford to make idle people merry.
Life is hard.
As hard and as ruthless as a rose petal.
If I could work my will.
If I could work my will.
If I had my way.
If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips.
Every idiot.
Every idiot
Who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips.
who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips
Should be boiled in his own pudding.
should be boiled with his own pudding and
buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Well,
if I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Oh, Ebenezer. What's Christmas but a time for finding yourself a year older and not a day richer?
A time for finding yourself a year older and not a penny richer.
How would the bookkeepers like to be suddenly unemployed?
Christmas was a humbug, a waste of time and money.
God save me from Christmas, it's a lot of humbug.
Been reminded of that just recently. Humbug.
Humbug! Poppycock. Balderdash. Lad.
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry.
Humbug, he said. Humbug.
Humbug, I tell you, humbug.
He said that Christmas was a humbug.
Humbug. Humbug. Humbug.
Humbug.
Humbug.
Humbug.
Humbug.
And a bar humbug to you too.
Bah. Humbug.
Humbug. Humbug.
Humbug.
Humbug. Humbug.
Humbug.
Humbug. Humbug.
Humbug.
Humbug.
Humbug. Humbug.
You use my own words against me.
Perhaps I've never understood about Christmas.
No fog. No mist. Clear. Bright. Cold. You there, boy!
Me, sir?
Yes, you, my good fellow.
What's today, my fine fellow?
You, lad! You down there!
Me?
Yes, you boy. Tell me, what day is today?
What day is it?
What day is today?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Well, today is Christmas Day.
Today? What Christmas Day? Today? Today?
Why, it's Christmas Day, sir.
Why, it's Christmas Day, of course.
Today!
Why, Christmas Day, of course.
It's Christmas Day! I haven't missed it!
It's Christmas Day! I haven't missed it. The spirits have done it all in one night.
Christmas! Then I haven't missed it! The spirits did it all in one night!
Christmas Day. I haven't missed it. The spirits did it all in one night.
Merry Christmas to everybody, and a Happy New Year!
Do you know the poulterers on the corner?
I should hope I did.
What an intelligent boy.
Do you know the poultry shop in the next street?
Do you know the poulterers in the next street?
Of course I do.
Do you know the prize goose in the window down the street?
The one as big as me?
The one as big as me? What, the one as big as me?
That's it, still.
It's still there.
Go and buy it.
Be serious.
Go and buy it so that Tiny Tim and his family might have a Christmas feast.
Buy it for me and I'll give you a shilling. No, I'll give you 5 shillings.
You're jossing.
No, go buy it in my name. Merry Christmas, Bob.
Merry Christmas, Uncle.
A Merry Christmas to us all.
Merry Christmas.
I suppose I should be grateful for that.
That's the only thing in the world sillier than a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Oh, and Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Long after Merry Christmas, not New Year.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
A Merry Christmas, Uncle Scrooge.
Merry Christmas!
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Will Tiny Tim live?
Not Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
To Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim.
And God bless us, everyone. God bless us, everyone. God bless us, everyone.
God bless us, everyone.
And God bless us all, everyone.
Good night, man.